This is a production of Cornell University.
Hello, my name is Kensy Rodriguez. I am a Ph.D. student at Cornell, and I'm with...
Hi, I'm Chris Smart. I am a professor of vegetable pathology at Cornell.
And today our video is about diseases of cucurbits, and today we will talk about Cucurbit Yellow Vine Disease.
So Kensy, what do we have here? What's this plant?
So this is a squash plant, and we have here one of the diseases that we just found a couple of years ago here at New York. We can see here some of the scorching margins, and there is also some yellowing on the leaves, if you can check it out here. So this disease is called Cucurbit Yellow Vine Disease, and this bacteria is transmitted by the squash bug. So previously, the squash bug was known as a pest, but it was not known to transmit any disease, Chris. So I think it's important to know this because now the squash bug it's a threat to transmit this disease, and we can see here in the plant we can see some of the name of the squash bug. So the squash bug life cycle. It has some nymphs, and then it can become as an adult. So we can also see here some eggs, and these eggs will hatch and will become like these nymphs. And you can see here like two stages of the nymphs. These are the smaller ones that are the ones that hatch and look like this, and then they will become bigger and they will get this like grayish color. Later on they will grow and they will become an adult. And so not all the squash bugs can bring the disease because like they have it in their guts, but if one squash bug have the disease or have the bacteria in it and will feed on the plant, then the bacteria probably will get into the plant and the plant will get disease eventually.
So does a squash bug have to feed on every leaf? And is that how the plant dies, or does the bacteria move in the plant? How does that work?
So actually the squash bug feed in every part of the plant, but for the bacteria to be transmitted, it has to feed in the phloem of the plant, and it doesn't have to feed in every leaf, as long as they can feed on in the stem. And mainly the disease will start the crown, because the bacteria just like can be in the phloem, and this will clog the phloem of the plant, and it will create this yellowish that we see here. So actually what happens is that since the bacteria is clogging the phloem, it will get this yellowish because the nutrients are not getting into the plant as well as it will be if the plant will be healthy.
Oh, so it's like you're clogging the veins of the plant.
Yes.
Wow. What do we do about this?
So the main thing is to control the squash bug or manage the squash bug, because once the bacteria is in, it's hard to control. So one of the main things is getting rid of the squash bug. We can do it manually, maybe removing some eggs that we see in the plant, or we can also remove the adults that we see, because the adult can overwinter. So it's important to scout the field at the beginning of the season to see if we can see some adults and take them out of the field, and be on the lookout during the whole season for the eggs, for the nymphs, and also for the adults.
So this plant looks to be a pumpkin or winter squash plant. Does it go to all the squashes? Does it go to other cucurbits like melons or cucumbers?
It does. So this disease can be seen in zucchini, in watermelon, in squash, winter squash, pumpkin. But we have seen if we plant different species or varieties of these ones, we will see that they mostly like... So the squash bug preference is mostly seen in winter squash, in zucchinis, in acorn squash. So we will probably see the disease more present in these varieties or these cultivars, but it also can go to watermelon. Maybe if you just have like watermelon or even cantaloupe, you will see the disease there probably too.
So it depends on which plant the squash bug likes the best.
Yes, so it's mostly dependent on what the squash bug like the best, because as we said, the squash bug is the one that transmits the disease. So the more squash bug, the higher the probability that you will see that disease in that specific plant. And once the squash bug start reproducing, you will see like thousands and thousands of eggs and nymphs in only one plant. So that will highly increase the chances for you to get in the disease.
Wow, that's really interesting. So how does this disease get into the plant every year? Like, does it live in the soil, or does it come in on the seeds that we plant? How does that work?
So we mostly know that the squash bug is the one that can keep the disease in their gut. So the squash bug will overwinter with the disease in their gut, and then with the bacteria in their gut, and then whenever the new season starts and the adults start coming in the plant, they will be the one that will feed and will transmit the disease. And we will also see that it will leave some leftovers of the plant that we are harvesting, whether it's pumpkin. That might be an overwinter site too for the squash bug and the bacteria.
Oh, wow. So it's really important to try to clean your garden or your field at the end of the season.
Yes, it's really important that you get rid of all the, let's say, all the things that you're not going to need. So you already harvest and you have like the leftover plant. It's important that we get rid of that. So we make sure that at least we keep the population of squash bug low.
And Kensy, I know you're doing your research in this area. Do you think that you'll be able to help the farmers in the state of New York reduce the chance of their plants dying from this bacteria?
Yeah, so that's the idea. I'm really excited for this because I am trying to determine what is the preference of the squash bug. And as of now, we are trying to have different varieties and cultivars to see what is the most preferred by the squash bug. And then we will be working with doing some screenings to see if there are varieties that are like less likely to have a lot of squash bugs. And we also want to determine where the disease is in the state, Chris, because I think that's very important. We don't know a lot about the disease here in New York because we just reported the disease this year, but we are really hopeful that we will be able also to determine or detect the disease, because sometimes it's confused with other diseases, or people think that they have like nutrient deficiency in their field, but actually what they have is the disease present, but they just don't know. So I think diagnostics is one of the first things that we have to focus on in the state.
Right, because the symptoms can be really similar to other things.
Yes.
Well, good luck identifying plants that are more resistant to this devastating disease.
Thank you so much. So if you want to check out more about this disease, we will have more information available in the Cornell vegetable website. Thank you.
This has been a production of Cornell University, on the web at cornell.edu.